Hello, and welcome to another day on the channel. My name is RNJesus, and today we'll be doing some more Amonkhet Remastered draft. If you are not familiar with the set, it's Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation combined into a single set. So let's jump into our pack 1, pick 1. Our rare is Drakehaven. This can be very powerful in the cycling decks, where you can just keep cycling away cards, creating a bunch of Drakes. I like taking that a lot. There's also notable cards like Magmaroth, which is kind of cool. So it's just like a 4-mana 5/5 that puts counters on itself, but then you can remove them by casting non-creature spells. Magma Spray's a fine removal spell, same with Final Reward. Oketra's Avenger's good aggressive card. Hieroglyphic Illuminations and Essence Scatter are both really good, but we'll just take a Drakehaven here. As we get past, I like taking the Bone Picker because it's a really efficient card. Even though it doesn't have any synergy, it's a 3/2 flying Death Touch. Sure, Hieroglyphic Illuminations, Essence Scatter both would be great. Splendid Agony also as well. But this card's just so efficient. A 3/2 flying Death Touch, which is already a threat. That can also just be 1 mana. It's just amazing. Sure, the cycles and can do other stuff for Drakehaven purposes, but Bone Picker's just so good. We'll take it. Other notable cards in other colors like Gust Walker, pretty good 2-drop. Fervent Paincaster, really good. Pathmaker Initiate works really well with Exert. Here, there is a Gate to the Afterlife, which is a great way to loot. It says non-token, so we can't combo with Drakehaven for infinite Drakes and looting. There's a Cartouche of Knowledge, a very good Cartouche. But all of our creatures have flying at the moment, so I'm not sure. I feel like Compelling Argument's going to wheel, so I don't think we have to take that very highly. I'll take the Cartouche of Knowledge. If we get any of the trials, taking a Cartouche is great. Gate to the Afterlife is fine, but not amazing. Here, there's a Heckma Sentinel. Pretty good in the cycling deck. Trial of Zeal also still here. Pretty good removal spell. Deals 3 damage to any target for 3 mana, and you can bounce it with a Cartouche. It's just an open fire at sorcery speed that can be reused. Or do I just try and stay on color and take the Heckma Sentinels for this Drakehaven stuff? Let's take the Heckma Sentinels. I think we're fine as is. We don't have to go into red just yet. There is a Cycling Desert Ceradon, though. Slitherblade. All these black cards are really medium. You don't want to play any of them highly. We could take the Desert Ceradon, speculate into red-blue with some cycling and discard looting stuff. Kenra Eternal is fine. It's an okay 2-drop. Pathmaker Initiate. We'll take the Desert Ceradon, see how that works out. Because there's a chance that we go into red. As we get past, a Doomed Dissenter is fine. A Magmaroth is fine. Not amazing. Pitiless Vizier, if we can do some more cycle stuff, can be great. And a Pursue Glory, which just is a cantrip for 2 mana that has cycling. I think I like taking the Pitiless Vizier or the Cycler here. Let's take the Pitiless Vizier since you'd rather get the payoff than the Cycler, since there are a lot of cycle cards in the set. As we get past a Desert of the Mindful, a perfect card that's a land that can also cycle itself. Unburden would also be great. Desert Ceradon's fine. Thresher Lizard pretty good if we can get our hand pretty small. But Desert of the Mindful is just really good. Always going to play it in our mana base. Can cycle it when we need to. And the cycling is really useful with all of our synergy at the moment. Still questionable about Desert Ceradon, though. We're not red yet. If we get some more red, we could start transferring into like a red deck, especially if we can open like a nickel bolus or something. Be like a blue, black, red cycle deck that just wins with a nickel bolus and only bolus. Here, Scarab Feast, Forsake the Worthy, Greater Sandworm, nothing too much. Just take Scarab Feast as a cycler. That can also have some utility. And we can actually cast it. Yeah, I like that. Over like Forsake the Worthy. Yeah, just take a Scarab Feast. Cartouche is looking fine right now, not amazing. On the wheel, we did not wheel the other good blue card that are in this pack. What was it again? I can't remember. But Essence Scatter is really good in the cycling deck, just because you can hold up a cycle, or you can have Essence Scatter. Nothing else has cycling in this pack, so we'll just take Essence Scatter. Hieroglyphic Illuminations, that's the card. Well, somebody took the Hieroglyphic Illuminations in that first pack, and now we're getting past the Hieroglyphic Illuminations, not the Essence Scatter. I like seeing that. All the red cards are pretty much still in the pack, so that's of note. But blue seems relatively open. I'm also seeing like a lot of red, so maybe we go into blue-red. Yeah, I'm liking where this deck is going. Wheeling Compelling Argument and Tormenting Voice. All of these cards care about just discarding cards, not just cycling. So Tormenting Voice is fine. But I think I'll take Compelling Argument here just because it cycles and we don't have to discard an extra card. Here, Forsake the Worthy, it cycles. Nothing in here. Just a charge effect and for 2 mana. That gives zombies an extra buff. Pursue Glory, it cycles. So pack 1 is fine. Looks like we're going to like a red-blue style. Or not red-blue, blue-black style cycle deck. As our rare in pack 2 is Champion of Wits. Now that is a really good card for what we're doing. Looting a bunch, and that can trigger our Heckma Sentinels, our Vizier, our Drakehaven. Why is Drakehaven in 2-drop slot? Anyway, other cards like Desert of the Mindful, Lethal Sting, Splendid Agony, but we'll just take a Champion of Wits. Just really good for what we're doing. And now we get a Commit to Memory. I'm not a big fan of that in limited. Vizier of the Anointed. Do we have any Embalm or Eternalized cards? Because if we do, Champion of Wits, this is really good with them. Like, especially with a cheap one, it just tutors out your best Eternalized or Embalm card. And then when you do get to use it, you draw a card. That's really good. All for 4 mana. So now if we pick up any of the kind of cards, or any of the Eternalize or Embalm cards, Anointer gets much better. Seeker of Last Tomorrow is like a decent win con and can trigger discard stuff. But we'll just take Vizier. And now we get another Vizier. Okay. There's also like Splendid Agony. This Abandoned Sarcophagus is interesting. You may cast spells that have cycling ability from your graveyard. If a card that has cycling ability would be cast from put into a graveyard from anywhere and it wasn't cycled, exile instead. So you can like cycle a card and then cast it from your graveyard, which is interesting. Like we've got Hieroglyphic Illuminations, Compelling Argument, and then some stuff. So it's not amazing. Countervailing Winds, although I definitely like more. I think I just like taking the counter magic here. Here there is another Gate to the Afterlife and a Seeker of Insight. Seeker can be pretty good. Or we can just take another Desert of the Mindful. Seer of Last Tomorrow is fine. We'll just take Desert. We're guaranteed play it since blue is probably going to be our main color here. And now we get a Miasmic Mummy. Miasmic Mummy's fine as a 2/2 that forces everyone to discard a card, but it triggers our discard stuff. Aerial Guide is really good. It can give like a Heckma Sentinels or whatever flying. Still no Embalm or Eternalized cards for our Vizier, but we'll just take the 2-drop in Miasmic Mummy. And now we get an Ominous Sphinx. That is pretty good for what we're doing. Synchronized Strike in the pack as well, really good combat trick. Gives basically +4/+4 for 2 creatures. Really good, but we'll just take the Sphinx. And now we get Aven Initiate, pretty good. There's an Eternal of Harsh Truths. But I think I'll take like the Aven Initiate because we have the Vizier of the Anointed. And just getting that is pretty good. Plus we can embalm it for later game. And if we like discard it to Miasmic Mummy, we're not feeling that bad. Our 4-drop slot is getting a little packed though, so we might want to take 4-drops a little less highly. I mean, Hieroglyphical Animations can cycle, so it's more of a 1-drop. Same with Compelling Argument. So yeah, things are looking pretty good. Here we get a Doomfall. Decent removal. It's mostly just going to be a hand disruption on turn 3. There's Eternal of Harsh Truths again. Definitely good with the Cartouche. You know what? Let's try some Eternal of Harsh Truths, see how that works. As we get a Winds of Rebuke. Pretty good interaction. There's a Lethal Sting. What does Lethal Sting work well with? A Drake, I guess. Miasmic Mummy. Cryptic Serpent's fine. Well, I think we take the... Nah, let's take the Lethal Sting. Just a decent removal spell. Now we can pick up a Winds of Rebuke over a Seer of Last Tomorrow. Yeah. Just like the good interaction. Vizier of the Anointed on the wheel. I feel like people are underestimating this card just because it basically draws a card by itself. But I think that we take Splendid Agony here. Just as some removal. Like, I would love it, sure, but we need some more removal. Like, all we've got is Lethal Sting, Splendid Agony, and some bounce. Here, Seeker of Insight looks pretty good over Seer of Last Tomorrow. Just as some looting. And we can take an Unburden here over Seer. Just another cycle card. Strategic Planning, sure, I don't think we're playing it though. So yeah, pack 2 was pretty good. We got a lot of good cards, and we're definitely needing more blue rather than black. Here in pack 3, our rare is Aven Mind Sensor, a pretty dead rare. Uncommons are Braid, really good removal cells. Sifter Worm, really big card, and On-Crop Champion. All off color, all we're not going to play. I think I like taking the Wander in Death here. Just get back some threats, and can cycle itself. Dune Beetle's fine, Aerial Guide's fine, but we'll just take the Wander in Death here. Nothing really else in the pack for us. Like, we're either going to take a Lethal Sting or Wander in Death. And here, Vizier of the Anointed, number 2. Like, we've got 2 things to fetch with it, so it's not bad. Compelling Argument, also pretty decent, just as a mill, or not mill, cycle card. That can be used as mill. There's a chance, like if they get low on cards and draw too much, we can punish them. We'll just take the Vizier. And now we get a Trial of Knowledge. Enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards and discard a card. So pretty good card draw. And we do have a Cartouche to go with it. But I like taking the Striped Riverwinder as a late game card / cycler. This does trigger our discard synergy, so I think we take the Trial of Knowledge, even though it's another 4-drop. Yeah, I'll just take the Trial. Just really good card draw. Now we get... we already have a Seer of Last Tomorrow, don't we? We don't yet. Maybe we do take our first Seer of Last Tomorrow here over Festering Mummy, or Wall of the Forgotten Pharaoh, since we only have 2 deserts. Yeah, let's just take the Seer. Gets instant speed. Discard. Now we can take a Gate to the Afterlife, or Pitiless Vizier, number 2. Pitiless Vizier is going to win us the games, just as 4/2 Indestructibles. Yeah, let's take Vizier. And now we can take a Compelling Argument, just as a Cycler. Sure thing. I don't think we're going to play Strategic Planning. We don't really care for filling our graveyard. It's basically an Anticipate that fills our graveyard a little bit. We don't really want that. Like, I guess we have some stuff we want in our graveyard with Champion of Wits and such, but I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, the deck is looking pretty good at the moment. I don't think we want to play Sunscorched Deserts just because we need our mana. It's just like cycle cards while also casting cards. So we can take a Seeker of Insight, but we already have one, and our non-creature count is 16, so it's pretty decent. Slitherblade is fine, but not amazing. Yeah, I guess there's a chance we play the Seeker of Insight. Number 2, although I doubt it. Here, in the last pack that we could possibly see, there is a Supernatural Stamina. Pretty decent. There's a Blighted Bat. Fine. It's not amazing. We'll just take the Stamina as a combat trick. Since you can't always cycle all your stuff away to solve your problems. Here on the wheel, we get a Lethal Sting or an Aerial Guide. I like taking the Aerial Guide just as some evasion for our big stuff. And we can take another Scarab Feast or a Compelling Argument. We'll take the Compelling Argument since we can cycle that more since we have more blue rather than black. So yeah, all in all, this draft is working out pretty well. Unquenchable Thirst. Do we want to play that? I guess we have 2 deserts, and it's better than taking Unburdened to cycle, so I guess. Yeah, there's a chance we play it. Enigma Drake's fine. Yeah. All in all, the packs went pretty well. Seer of Last Tomorrow we might play as instant speed discard. Shred of Weakness, not good combat, or it's a fine combat trick, especially in the green-black and -1/-1 counter decks. But we're not that deck. So how do we want to make cuts? So this is our creature to non-creature looking, and we can put like our cycle stuff in the side, like Scarab Feast. We'll put all of our cyclers over there. Do we have any creature cyclers? No, we do not. Only non-creature. Countervailing Winds, Forsake the Worthy, Pursue Glory, Hieroglyphic Illuminations. That's all of our cyclers. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cyclers. Not bad. And we also have 2 Seer of Last Tomorrow. We can cut 1, if not both, Seekers. I'll cut 1 for now. I'll put this in like a maybe pile over here. Eternal of Harsh Truths isn't that great with what we're doing, so yeah, I think we can cut that. I think we can cut 1 Seer of Last Tomorrow. Like, it's a fine win condition, but it's really slow. And what else can we cut? Supernatural Stamina. Like, I guess it brings back Champion of Wits. Or Vizier. Like, what do we have to embalm / eternalize? Champion of Wits and Aven Initiate. That's it. Yeah, we cut down on 1 Vizier, since we're not the Embalm deck, so it's not as good. We can cut down on, like, the uncastable cyclers, since the other ones, like, actually have utility. Guess next we cut, like, Triple compelling argument, there is a world where it could be a mill deck. I don't hate it. We can cut a supernatural stamina. And now... Now an aerial guide. Like, besides our pitiless viziers that can already get in pretty easily, most of our threats have flying. So I don't think we need the aerial guide that much. Lethal Sting is kind of a bad removal spell. But what else do we have? We have Splendid Agony, Unquenchable Thirst, Essence Scatter, Winds of Rebuke. It's not that great. Yeah, we can cut a Seeker. Do you want to cut like a Scarab Feast? Last two cuts, since we're going to cut a land as our last card, since don't really care too much about that. We can cut down on one compelling argument. Yeah, we can cut down on one. It's just a 1 mana cycler in our deck. And what about Cartouche of Knowledge? It cantrips and gives +1/+1 in its flying. So it's not the worst. But as I said before, all of our threats mostly have flying already, besides the Pitiless Viziers, and they can just give themselves indestructible, so I don't think Cartouche is worth it. So yeah, we'll cut that, and then we can cut down on one land. What's our mana base? 15 to 6. Yeah, I think we can cut down on one swamp, so we have 9 blue sources and 7 black sources. Sure, Unburdened is double black, but we're most of the time going to cycle it. So yeah, that is the deck. If you would have made any changes, let me know in the comments. But this is how I'm going to play it. If you enjoy my content, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. And let's jump into some games and see how the deck does. On the play against Big Bork, this hand is missing blue, and we can only cycle one card, so I'm not sure if this is worth keeping. We'll try Mulligan. This is better. We'll keep this. And let's bottom the Miasmic Mummy. Since we're already down a card, I don't think we want to discard again. We'll just play the Desert. Pass. Get our blue source online. They play a Desert of the Glorified. We'll play a land and pass. Countervailing Winds does nothing at the moment. Once we start filling our graveyard, it can do some stuff. But until then, we probably just have to cycle it. They play a Shadowstorm Vizier. I don't think we cycle it just yet, so we can Heckma Sentinels. Nah, we're not going to have the mana. Like, we'd rather just Trial of Knowledge. Cast Heckma Sentinels. Pass a turn. Scarab Feast can now cycle. We're running more blue sources than black sources. How are we drawing more black than blue? I don't understand. Drakehaven. A mirror match. Although their deck is probably better than us. Well, Trial of Knowledge. Discard Bone Picker, since against a Drakehaven it's not very good. Swing for 3, pass the turn. Getting a Pitiless Vizier down against some Drakes I think is better, since we can start just cycling cards for it and then just keep it indestructible. Ooh, they're red. They cycle a Desert Ceradon. They create a Drake, draw a card. Hopefully they don't have another 1 mana cycle. Hopefully just 2 mana in their hand. We take 2. Well, let's move to combat. Swing with the Sentinels. So if they do have instant speed cycle, or discard and can pay the 1, then we have some interaction. They cycle a Scarab Feast, get a buff, and create a Drake. Sure thing. They just take it. Interesting. Well, they take 2 damage. And let's start Pitiless Viziering. Yeah, let's play Pitiless Vizier. Pass. Although I'm not sure we're going to win this since they get their Drakehaven online before us. They crack Evolving Wilds, sure thing. Get a Black Source. So, what you got that's more scary than a Drakehaven? Because I'm not sure we can beat that even now. Even with, like, an Ominous Sphinx. I mean, Ominous Sphinx can definitely, like, power through some Drakes, but I'm not sure for how long. Because if they keep cycling, that is just going to be a problem. They swing. And they just pass. Interesting. Well, we'll move to combat. And swing. They just take it. Do you want to, like, cycle Scarab Feast for an extra damage? I don't think so. Do they have something? They cycle a Vizier of Tumbling Sands, which can untap a blocker. I mean, it's already past the blocker, so it doesn't help. They go down to 9. Seer of Last Tomorrow, getting more discards is kind of nice. We have a lot of mill in hand. Like, we're either going to Lethal Sting and hold up cycling, or Winds of Rebuke, hold up cycling. And what are we going to put the counter on? Yeah, let's just Winds of Rebuke, bounce a Drake or the Vizier. Let's bounce a Drake, just get rid of it permanently. We mill an Anointer in a land, they mill a Compelling Argument in a land, and we'll just pass. It's definitely annoying that we've been mana screwed for a bit. They cycle a Stripe River Winder. Get another Drake. The power of Drakehaven. They play land. They swing. We take 6. And our turn. Desert of the Mindful, not that great of a draw. Let's move to combat and swing. We're definitely going to block, and then we cycle Scarab Feast. Because we're going to need to draw something to get out of this. Cycle a Scarab Feast, give it Indestructible. What do we draw? Come on, something. Untap Blue Source. Probably not good enough. Let's see. There's a chance we can survive this. Let's put a -1. Let's put a counter on the Sentinels. And if they don't have a Cycler, we live. Okay, they reduce. Not good. Okay, if they don't have a cycle here, we live. Otherwise, we're dead. They just cast Rubble. Nope, that's game. GG's. On to the next one. Yeah, Drakehaven. That's the power of it. Just not our Drakehaven. So, what the world is just telling us is that our deck is powerful. They just were lucky. Yeah, that's all. On to the next one. This hand doesn't look that great. We'll have to mulligan. 999, nice. This is better, we'll keep, and let's bottom a land. I don't think we're going to cast Unburden, so we'll just bottom the black source. Pass the turn. Play Desert of the Mindful, pass the turn. Sure, that can cycle, but I feel like we're going to need lands more often than not. They play a Pathmaker Initiate. That's a little scary. Wander in Death, pretty good. We'll play a Heckma Sentinels. Pass the turn. They cast a Kenra Scrapper. I mean, that's unblockable. Play Island, move to combat. No attacks. Pass the turn. Like, we want to block the Pathmaker. I don't think we want to trade 2 damage for 2 damage. We'll just take 2. They can exert the Scrapper if they want to, but I doubt they want to just yet. Yep, we take 2. A 3-mana, 2/3 Menace is still sizable. Pretty good common. We'll just cast Hieroglyphic Illuminations at the end of their turn. Hopefully they're missing a color. Like, if they're red-white, that'd be for the best for us. Like, an aggro deck missing half of its color is really good. Wander in Death can have some fun stuff, but not yet. Thresher Lizard doesn't look that good against us. Maybe they're just mono-red. They only have red lands. Well, we'll draw 2 cards. Pitiless Vizier, pretty nice. And an Essence Scatter. Let's hold full control. And cast a Pitiless Vizier. And then just pass through the rest of these turns holding full control. That way we represent having a cycler. This might not work depending on how they see it, but I think we need to, like, maybe threaten we have a cycle. Which we don't, so we'll just turn it off now. I'm too lazy to deal with it. Too much clicking. They cast a Thorned Mullock and a Bloodlust Insider. Pretty good. Well, your 2/2 prowess is no match for a 2/4. Take action. Let's go get a Champion of Wits. Put that into graveyard. Swing with the Pitiless Vizier. I think we're willing to, like, cycle a card for one of their creatures. And leave this open to, like, a removal spell. They just take it. We pass. Hold up Essence Scatter. Let's just hope they don't have any open fires or whatever. Like, open fire on our Pitiless Vizier would be annoying. They can give the Kenra Scrapper more unblockable, which is super annoying. They give the Mullock instead, so I guess they have some prowess stuff they want to trigger. They exert the Kenra Scrapper, that's fine. We'll double block note still. We'll trade our Vizier for their Scrapper. Like, sure, we've already drew a card with it, so I don't think it's that good. Like, it's fine, not amazing. Fervent Paincaster, yep. Scatter that. And our turn. A Seer of Last Tomorrow. That can do some fun stuff. Let's cast Wandering Death, get Vizier and Champion of Wits back. And then cast Champion of Wits. This will give Payless Vizier indestructible. Discard Miasmic Mummy and Seer of Last Tomorrow. Seer's a decent blocker, but with the Pathmaker Initiate, it's just way too annoying. So we'll just keep the Cycler and stuff. We get some triggers. Do we just, like, swing with everything? Like, I don't hate it. Like, we can't block most of their stuff anyway. But if they, like, give something scary haste, like, let's say they have, like, a Magmaroth or something, we jump block that, take 2, 9, and then we can kill them on the crackback. Yeah, I don't like swinging with everything. Pass. Yeah, because we can just cast Unburden, targeting ourselves, discard 2 cards, kill them for 8. So they were red-white, so they're missing white mana. Cool. Let's see, what spell do you want to cast now? We're probably going to cast Unburden on them to get rid of their last 2 cards, since they've been holding on to some white spells for a while. Most likely, anyway. A Trial of Solidarity. Well, we're chump blocking. We know that for a fact. The Vigilance is such a problem. Actually, let's just trade. We go down to 1 this way. Yep. Go down to 1. And we're just going to have to hold up a bit more defense from now on. Cast Vizier of the Anointed. Go get a Aven Initiate. Pass a turn. Feeling bad about attacking with those things now, but what can you do? Let's just hope that they don't have a the red Cartouche of Zeal is what it's called. A Taw Crop Elite. Yep, that will do it. We can cycle and see what we'd have drawn. Draw a land, yeah, wouldn't have done it. Good games. Yep, a 2/2 Flying Haste will do it. On to the next game. On the draw, this hand's really slow, missing blue as well, but we'll try it. Maybe we should be being more aggressive with these, like, 2 land hands that are missing colors, because we can just keep cycling, so we can dig deeper. They mulligan down to 6. We draw a Heckma Sentinels. Come on, blue source anytime now. They play a Binding Mummy, super annoying. Desert of the Mindful, perfect. Can't tap down a Drake that's coming in at instant speed now, can ya? They swing in for 2. We take it. Let's hope that they don't play anything too scary. Ah, I like it. I love the least scary play of all. Nothing. Well, we play Drakehaven. Pass the turn. Don't worry about it. It's not that scary. Sure, it's going to kill you, but you don't have to worry about that part. Because you're going to be dead. That's how it works, right? We take 2, go to 16, and they just pass again. Okay. Well, this is getting sad. Seer of Last Tomorrow. Get a Discard Engine online for this. Or just cycle Unburden, get a Drake. Let's cycle Unburden, get a Drake. Because I'd rather just get the Drake on rather than the Seer. Plus we get a card deeper. We'll cycle. Instant speed, trade off with the Drake. Create the first of many. I guess Mighty Leap instead of 4 we block. Sure. We take 4, go down to 12. That's super aggressive. Well, we'll cast the Seer of Last Tomorrow. Swing for 2. And pass a turn. And now we've held up Essence Scatter in case they draw something scary, or play something scary. Hit me with your best shot, OP. In Oketra's name... Yeah, let's just rebuke you. I don't feel like dealing with the pump spell. We mill Bone Picker and Wander in Death. They mill Oketra's name or a land and disposable mummy. Well, we'll move to combat. Swing for 2. Cast a Heckma Sentinels. Do they have an Essence Scatter? Yeah, sure. Fine. Whatever. Pass the turn. And then we could try start milling them. Not sure how well that'll work, though. Wait, how many cards are they playing? 1, 2... Whoa, whoa, whoa there, buddy! That's not very nice of you. We're going to create one last Drake. Oh, it would have been something nice to discard. Let's see. They have 6... They're playing 45 cards. Let's see, 6... 9, that's... Yeah, 45 cards. That is... strange. Huh. Oh, well. Play a Pitiless Vizier, instant speed, indestructible. Swing for 4. We already got 2 Drakes out of the Drake Haven, so I'm pretty happy. These things will start beating up our opponent. They play a Napu Rivulet. But they can play a Binding Mummy. We're not that scared of that. And I kind of want to discard Aven Initiate. But nah. We'll just take our turn. Move to combat. Swing with our Drake and Vizier. They block with a Binding Mummy. Sure. You will activate Seer, target you. Discard Aven Initiate. Give it Indestructible. They mill Aerial Guide, Compulsory Arrest, and a land. Sure. And now we get to hold up Essence Scatter and Splendid Agony. Nice. And we'll hold the land for Seer of Last Tomorrow purposes. Because if we draw another land, then we can like play land, Embalm Initiate. They cast a Supreme Will, sure. Look at the top 4. Do your worst. That was probably what they were holding up last turn. But we didn't cast a spell, so can't counter what we can't cast. I guess they're trying to find an answer to their prayers. Try and save themselves. Because they're dead from our angle. Like, if they try and cast a creature, we Essence Scatter. Then we can kill their blade. Their little snaky snake. They have an Unquenchable Thirst. Well, that's annoying. We'll kill this other blade. Bring them down to 2. And Embalm the Initiate. Actually, there might be a board wipe. Let's just play land and pass. Because if they have like a land into Hour of Devastation, I don't think we want to run our Aven Initiate into that. And we also have 2 lethal threats in the air and an Essence Scatter. We'll Essence Scatter that. Do they have a counter magic of their own? I'm not sure if there's 2 mana counter spells in that counter instance, like negates. But they just concede. Okay, 1 win with our Drake Haven, even if it got blown up. I am happy about that. On to the next game. On the draw, this hand looks fine. We'll keep. A little expensive, but we got some cycle stuff to get ourselves there. We're going to cycle the Compelling Argument turn 1, just to hit some lands. Miasmic Mummy, probably going to discard like a Countervailing Winds or something. If we want to play that out. They play their own Miasmic Mummy, so I guess we're discarding a Mummy to that. Well, let's cycle in response, just in case we find something else we want to discard. Nope. We'll just discard a Mummy. They discard an Anointer Priest. Well, now I'm sad. Now we have an Aven Initiate that we want to discard. Well, not really want to, but it's kind of nice to discard. They cast a Wasteland Scorpion. Sure thing. Looks like we know what we are Splendid Agonying. Cycle Countervailing Winds. Draw a land. Let's play land and Splendid Agony the Wasteland Scorpion. Sure, we can play, like, tap land and pass. And then, like, next turn cast Bone Picker and Splendid Agony. Or Splendid Agony, then Bone Picker. But I think if we do draw an untapped land, this is much better. They play a Sun Scourge Champion and play a Desert of the True. We take 2. And a Pitiless Vizier. Let's play this tapped. Pass. Now I'm feeling kind of bad. So maybe we play the Aven Initiate next. Okay, they play a Soul Stinger. Sacrifice their mummy or put the counters on the Sun Scourge. Okay, they put the counters on the Soul Stinger itself. This is when it dies, yeah. So let's Anointer or Vizier the Anointed. This blocks everything. And we can go put our Champion of Wits into the graveyard to embalm later. Or Eternalize. And I think I like Winds of Rebuke on the Sun Scourge Champion later once it internalizes. If it dies, that is. Because just bouncing a 4/4, killing it for 2 mana is super good. They play a Cartouche of Solidarity. Well, that means they can swing in with everything, so that's annoying. Come on, land. Perfect. Say hello to my little friend. A 4/4. Deal with it. Let's just hope they don't have a removal spell. Otherwise, we will go to 1. That's not preferable. Lethal Sting. Yep. There's that removal spell we were talking about. I mean, at least now we only go to 2. Oh, land is nice, but I think we're still dead on board, right? Cast a Bone Picker. Pass. Maybe they make a mistake and just swing with, like, 3 things. There's a chance. Cartouche of Ambition. We can bounce that. But we're still dead on board. Good games. Mean, do this, but still dead. GG's. Well, games didn't go as planned, but it was kind of fun trying out the new discard or the new style of discard deck. Yeah, it didn't have like the 1/3 flyers that's get +1/+1 cycle, nor did we get much of like the other cycle payoffs, but it was kind of fun to play with. Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. This is a much shorter one than normal, but it was some pretty quick games. I'll be doing more Amonkhet Remastered while it's still out on MTG Arena. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you all next time.